Hi guys, Harry here, and there have been more set photos from the Doctor Who 60th anniversary leaked, mainly featuring the aliens, and this video is going to go over the aliens because they are extremely strong, but they are also from not even hardcore fans will know about it, like me, from just hearing the name. But this video is going to go over the set photos and what the aliens, what their backstory is in the Doctor Who universe. But before we get into the video, don't forget to subscribe, also leave a like and comment down below, and let's get into the video. But first of all, I would just like to thank subscriber and viewer of this channel, Alberto. Hopefully I pronounced your name right, for letting me know about the alien that has been seen in the set photos in the Doctor Who, obviously in the Doctor Who 60th anniversary, those leaked photos. Because I did see them before, but I didn't know who it was. So thanks Alberto for leading me on to this. But the pictures are of, first of all, we saw this big green insectoid creature, which people really didn't know at first, until another set picture from there got released of a smallish, furry, like almost bunny-like, I've seen it described as, creature that hardcore fans recognised as Beep the Meep. And then they recognised that the big green insectoid creatures were the Wrarth, or something like that. I'm just going to go with the Wrarth. Sorry if I've mispronounced that. But they are both really strong aliens, but they are from obscure, just comic run, and it is insane to see Russell T Davies bring Beep the Meep as just a singular character back, and bring the Wrath as like a full alien force in the 60th anniversary. So I just can't wait to go through it. But before that, we'll get into the backstory of Beep the Meep and the backstory of the Wrath. So, the first time we see these aliens of Beep the Meep and the Wrath was first in a comic strip called Doctor Who and the Star Beast, which was actually co-created with Marvel, which just shows how insane this comic is. But Beep the Meep is obviously, he was a leader of this alien race called the Meeps, who were an advanced and peaceful race who lived in harmony and happiness until their natures were drastically altered by their planet's orbit passing close to a black sun, there was this radiation from the black star that mutated them into almost the opposite of what they were. They became an aggressive and expansionist species who began to mercilessly conquer and subjugate other planets. So you can already tell that this was an insane comic with tiny furry aliens who were happy and peaceful and lived in harmony with everyone else, as well as being quite technologically advanced and all that, to an aggressive and expansive species with the technology to subjugate any other planets. And this led to the inclusion of the Wrath, who is like they're a police force, but instead of the Jadoon, they're not like a police force for hire. They are an actual police force that only work under the Star Council, and they can only go and do their work when the Star Council authorize their use. And they were obviously tasked to handle it because they're genetically an engineered insector race who had interstellar law enforcers. They were like interstellar law enforcers, so they had the technology. Obviously, the aliens themselves, the Wrath, were advanced as well, enough to take on the Meep race and obviously Beep the Meep's rule. So that is why there is these ones being seen together, being seen both in the 60th anniversary set photos, but not together, because we know that they're going to clash sooner or later. So, when the Wrarth were finally given the authorization by the Star Council, they went into a battle against the Meep Armada, with Beep obviously being the leader of it, trying to enslave and subjugate these other planets. But fortunately, the Wrarth won, and Beep was the only one to escape. But he got pursued by the Wrarth and was shot down over Earth, which is where we really come in with the comics, which he landed in the city of Black Castle, where he was found by Sharon Davis and Fudge Higgins, so two kids finding Beep the Meep just crash landed. These characters, Sharon Davis and Fudge Higgins, are likely to be replaced by Rose, played by Yasmin Finney, who is Donna's daughter. So instead of having these characters, that's how it brings, I would assume this is how it brings in Donna, her mum, her granddad, her husband, how obviously Rose Yasmin Finney herself is in this as well. And I think it's going to show the same thing. I think Rose is going to assume that this cute creature is harmless, exactly like Sharon and Fudge did, and help him and try and help him to rebuild his ship so he can go back home. And in this comic book, that's exactly what happened. Sharon Davis and Fudge Higgins take him back to Fudge's home, so they can keep him away from like the Wrarth and other people that would exploit him, so he can rebuild his ship and go back home without anyone knowing. Of course, though, Beep was not a nice alien. As I said, the radiation from the Black Star had turned him into aggressive dictator who wanted to kill and enslave and subjugate other races. I mean, he has the technology to do it, as in the comic he uses his ship's black orb to take control of the people of Black Castle and make them repair his ship. He also has ray guns that he keeps in like pouches, like inside his fur, to obviously kill people. So he is not a nice alien, of course. And under this guise, he met the Fourth Doctor, who came to protect him from the Wrarth, because again, the Fourth Doctor thought he was just a nice alien who was being pursued by a bad alien race. However, this obviously turns out to not be the case. However, this could be playing out in the Doctor Who 60th anniversary, as we see a taxi show up quite a lot. With all the characters, we see Donna, her mum Sylvia, her husband Sean Temple, also her. I think we see Wilf. I don't know if he goes into the taxi, but we also see Rose, Donna's daughter, go into the taxi, and we see David Tennant driving it in one shot, and we also see Beep the Meep in the back of the taxi with David Tennant again driving it in another shot. So it seems like the 10th Doctor is going to follow the same route to try and protect Beep the Meep, exactly like the 4th Doctor did, until the Doctor realises that Beep the Meep is not a good alien, exactly like in the comics. He repairs his ship, and he, this is Beep now, decides to take off in a hyperspace jump, even though that would mean destroying Blackpool. So the 4th Doctor knows this, and then he aids the Wrarth in apprehending Beep, and he was taken away to face justice. So this is maybe what the 60th anniversary is leading up to. Beep the Meep crash landing after a massive war with the Wrarth. Hopefully we see that in live action, like a Meep Armada coming against a Wrarth Armada, and then we see that, because there hasn't been much action like in the scale I know, of course, Doctor Who is relatively low budget compared to a lot of films, but I would really like to see like a Meep Armada face off against a Wrarth Armada. It would be so cool. And on the topic of the Wrarth shooting them down, obviously the Wrarth are the alien police, which are after Beep for the war crimes he has committed in subjugating the other planets as they went on their war quest to enslave and subjugate other planets. So the Wrarth are like the police force, actually predating the Judoon, as the Star Beast comic Doctor Who and the Star Beast was back in the 80s, and the Judoon was only revealed in a Doctor Who episode in 2007. So it would be really cool to see the Wrarth police, how their dynamic is different to the Judoon. And there has been talk of there being 3 specials with David Tennant rather than just one, just being the 60th anniversary. So there have been other instances of Beep the Meep being in Doctor Who lore, being in other comic book and also audio dramas. Another one was basically right after Beep the Meep had been arrested by the Wrarth. He spent 15 years in prison, and he was on a parole hearing, and he manages to get released on parole by tricking the parole board into thinking he's rehabilitated. But he manages to obviously get released on parole. So he is vengeful because obviously he's not reformed and he's psychotic. So he seeks revenge in the Star Beast too. But the Fourth Doctor then again stops him by using Black Star energy to trap him in a Lassie movie. Meaning that he won't be able to escape, and then there is something of the Fourth Doctor either keeping it, maybe to tape over it, like he did with the wire in the Idiot's Lantern. He said to Rose, "I'll tape over it." So a similar thing with Beep the Meep and the Lassie movie, and also it was then revealed that there was another it was kept at the Wrarth Institute, so of course the police force institute, so that he would never escape. Eventually, though, Beep did escape, and he was seen again in Doctor Who magazine's number 283 TV Action, where he travelled into 1979 in a parallel world where the Doctor was just a subject of a television programme, Doctor Who, which is of course what it is in our universe. However, it wasn't just Beep travelling into a parallel universe where Doctor Who was just a TV programme. He travelled to the BBC television centre because he had a plan to broadcast the Black Star radiation to the households of Britain to turn everyone as evil to him and become a dictator instead of the meat race, of the human race, so they could be his soldiers to subjugate other planets. However, there was a Doctor pursuing him. This time it was the 8th Doctor with his companion Izzy, and they weren't in such a good position as Beep the Meep was succeeding in his plan. However, since this was a parallel universe, he saw Tom Baker, the Doctor that he had 2 run-ins with before, and thought he was the 4th Doctor. And while he tried to obviously take his revenge against Tom Baker, the 8th Doctor and his companion Izzy managed to defeat him with a lot of other television personalities of that era, meaning that Beep the Meep again got defeated, and that was the last time we saw him on the pages of a comic book. However, there is another full appearance of Beep the Meep. Beep the Meep, again, his last appearance was in the Ratings War, which was a promotional CD given away with Doctor Who magazine in issue 313. Again, but this was an audio drama with Toby Longworth playing the voice for Beep the Meep, who went up against the sixth Doctor this time, of course, played by Colin Baker, voiced by Colin Baker, and Beep tried like the same plan, the same ploy as he did in the TV Action magazine, where he tried to control the humans with a black star radiation to control the human race, except this time it was a kids program called Beep and Friends, rather than hypnotize them by radiation, just persuade them to join him by using his words and his guile rather than the force and the radiation. Again, he is defeated by Colin Baker. So he got defeated by Colin Baker, and again, the Wrarth arrested him again, and that is really where he has been left so far, Beep the Meep. Of course, he has made other short cameo appearances, like when they were going through the Doctor's roster of his worst enemies. There has been seen, I think, in the 5th Doctor's era and also the 7th Doctor's era, where they were just going through their old foes. So it shows that Beep the Meep is considered in Doctor Who canon to be extremely powerful, one of his most powerful foes. And it is so insane that one of his most powerful foes have only been seen in magazines and really one audio drama. And I think it is great Russell T Davies bringing Beep the Meep back, because I think it is just great to see this. And again, maybe Beep the Meep will be the villain for all 3 specials. But that is my video on who Beep the Meep is, who the Wrarth is, and what these leaked set photos could mean for the Doctor Who 60th anniversary. Thanks again to Alberto, hopefully I am saying your name right, for leading me on to this unknown, really, or this hard to know Doctor Who character, who I didn't know existed until it got brought to my attention by Alberto, and also when I started looking it up. But I mean, I think it is great to see such iconic but unknown villain return. But that is just my video. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Also, leave a like, comment down below, share it out, and I will see you in the next one.